Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. So, the question comes, they say, what's going on in America today? There seems to be no financially stable men in America anymore. Why is that? Why is this happening? What causes that? Where men are no longer stable financially? What could be the root cause of that? Well, now, sister, see, the thing is, a man, he grows up throughout his childhood years. He comes up in the turns of age to become a legal adult. 18 is what they call it. Turns 18. His parents oftentimes tell him, even before he turns of the age of 18, that once you turn 18 years old, you're out of this house. You're going to go find you a job and get you an apartment and all this kind of stuff. You're going to pay your own car insurance and truck insurance or whatever. And you're going to pay your own personal finances. And you're going to have to either sink or swim. Okay, so a man gets a job. He goes to work every day. He pays all his bills. But then all of a sudden, a woman stole his heart. A woman followed him around and pursued him. And she was right there by his side, like his shadow, followed him around everywhere. And they were in love together and all this kind of stuff. And so they ended up having a child. The lady in the relationship got pregnant, had a baby. Now that baby is expensive. Then later on down the road, they have arguments over financial problems because the cost of this child is becoming more and more and more. They have fights and fuss and argue over the financial situation that they're in. They get so bad, they have to go their separate ways. They divorce each other. Now the man has to pay child support to that woman for that baby, for that child, that kid, until he's 18 years old. Now if that child chooses to go to university or college, well, then the father has to pay the child support throughout the college years for that student, which could be up to 20, 21, 22, 24 years old, depending on whether he goes to college for 6, 8 years, depending on his what he's going to college for. So the father, the man, not only has to pay for his own personal finances, a roof over his head, and has to pay his expenses that go along coincide with his vehicle. He also has to pay and support a child, whether they live in the same city or a different city or another state or even another country. A man has to pay for that child for years and years. That child support payments are mighty expensive these days. For a man to ever get ahead with the cost of basic living necessities in this America right here today, it's becoming harder and harder for the men to be financially stable. A man works and spends his whole paycheck. He works mighty, mighty hard. His whole paycheck is gone before he even receives it. A lot of these men live paycheck to paycheck. They try to stretch them dollars the best way they can. Men have a lot to pay for. It's hard for the man. Shalom. Shalom.